regular meeting of the Cass County Public Library Board of Trustees. Let's start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now I'll do roll call. We have Dennis Minich.
Here.
Diane Hahn. Here. Sherry Peters.
Here.
Diana Long. Here. And Becky Klein is here. You have your agenda in front of you, and Robin, there haven't been any changes to it, correct?
Correct.
All right. So I would take a motion to approve the agenda. Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None. All right, consent agenda. I think I went through this too fast last month. You have your minutes, and then we have our financials. Are there questions on the minutes or the financials? All right. Heard a motion?
A second.
Thank you, Diana. And a roll call. Dennis?
Yes.
Sherry?
Yes.
Diane?
Yes.
And Diana?
Yes.
And Becky, yes. All right. We do not have any public comments, or at least nobody signed up.
Nope.
All right, we will move on to unfinished business. You have an updated CCHS rent for the Harrisonville branch. I have spoken and emailed with Jessica Jung, the president of the Historical Society, twice. And she's she's a CPA, so she is finishing up her business today. She intends this next week to review the insurance and see if that can be adjusted. The insurance comes up for review or renewal May 1st. I have questioned her. You see the list of general repairs. The elevator service used to be in the contractor services, and she told me that the elevator repairs or elevator maintenance was pretty much under general repairs. And I said, well, are we paying twice? And she assures me they're not, but I would like to see some documentation, and I'm trying to get that. Other questions? Does the library pay for lawn care here? No, so that's just theirs. Okay, they pay for all the lawn care on this building. Okay.
I was confused because up above, yard is 8,000, but then yard is also down in general repairs under lawn care. So is that duplication?
That's what we were wondering too.
And then custodial supplies, I assume that's just toilet paper, paper towel kind of things. What professional fees?
Professional fees are there accounting and their software and any legal fees that they might have related to the building.
So we're in a straight landlord-tenant relationship now. Why would we be paying for their accountant and their lawyers
Okay.
and their Quicken soft books or whatever they use?
Okay.
I thought the new lease said that we were only paying operational costs of the building, not of the landlord entity.
Right.
Same thing, is it, payroll tax? We kind of talked about that last time. Is that an operational?
She wasn't budging much on it.
It's 880, but
The other thing that was not on here was the trash service. And she told me no matter what, we won't go over 11,000, but I'm trying to get it under 11,000.
because we were paying significantly under 11,000 before.
Correct. So, for this one more month, until we can, I hope to meet with her late this week or early next week and see if we can get closer, some more definite numbers. So for one more month, I make a motion that we pay the rental of $11,000 for the Harrisonville branch.
I second
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Can we not do any adjustments now instead of paying another much?
If she comes, if they realize that some of these are off, could they possibly then deduct that from the next one?
I don't think they're gonna refund anything.
Oh, that's what I meant, yeah.
Well, let me vote on this motion, and then if you want to make a motion for a lower amount, we'll do that, okay? So, we have a motion to pay the $11,000 for the coming month of May. Dennis Minich,
it. Yes.
Diane Hahn?
Yes. I said yes.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I didn't say it real
Sherry
loud.
Peters,
No,
Diana Long,
Larson.
Larson,
Yeah.
Where did I get that
Last
name?
names today.
sorry.
Yes,
Okay, and Becky Klein, yes. All right, I got it right here now. All right. All right, thank you. I will work diligently this next week to get this in a more solid state. Moving on to new business, the budget amendment and allocation of settlement funds. Robin, I'll let you take it from there.
Sure. So, we have received, as per this legal settlement, $50,000 from the Historical Society. And also because the litigation has concluded, we now can address funding that we had allocated at the beginning of the year for legal fees related to that litigation. And I harken back to when we were talking about the 2026 budget and going through that work session and some ideas and preferences that you had communicated. So I am just proposing, if you'd like, that we could earmark the $50,000 settlement money to go into the reserves for debt service as it relates to our presence in Harrisonville. And then also that we reallocate $25,000 that was in the professional services line over to activities, because there was discussion about liking to see more robust programming, and we can do a lot of different things with more funding on that line, so.
The first part of that, I'm fine with allocating 25,000 to the programming. I'm kind of wondering if we ought to just hang on to that in general fund in the short term, and if we need it for programming down the road, we may have other projects that need to be addressed or whatever, and $25,000 might come in handy on some of that.
you mean to not move 25,000 to
Right.
activities?
And have it
Those
available if we
activities.
need it.
I mean, put it in the reserve fund, general fund, and if somebody comes up with a program that, really needs this special allocation, fine, but otherwise, let's not put it there to where, it might not come in more useful someplace else.
We'll say we have ideas. We did have some discussion. I talked with Lee and I talked with Jana about some potential things we could do. I will say, like, if we have the money in that line, we would diligently pursue those ideas. For example, bringing in more of like a bigger name author for author visits. They tend to be a lot more expensive to be able to do that. That was one idea that we had. And then when we were at PLA, I think I mentioned it in my director's report in your packet, the culinary cart, the portable culinary cart that Jana was really kind of intrigued about, being able to move that around the library system for branches to be able to do some like children's, well, and you can do adult cooking programming with it as well. But so those are a few of the higher dollar things that we we would probably pursue. And if it's not in there, we might not. I mean, we would probably still want to just kind of keep what we've budgeted in check there, but.
But we do need a motion to put the 50,000 into the debt service line, the reserve for debt service.
Yeah, I
Right
mean,
now it's-
otherwise it would just go into reserve. So, I mean, you can make a motion to dictate where you would like for that to go. I think that would be helpful for Lori. I was just suggesting that it go on that line, but it could really,
I make a motion to put it in the reserve for debt service,
The 50?
the 50,000.
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, I'll do a vote. Dennis Minich?
Yes.
Sherry Peters?
Yes.
Diane Hahn?
Yes.
Diana Larson?
Yes.
And Nikki Klein, yes.
Are we going back to the activities money now?
Yeah.
Now we go
Okay.
to the activities money.
So I think it's we talked about during our budget session, activities are definitely one of our priorities, and
Mhm.
that we want the branches to be able to do more and bring people in. So I think it is a good idea to increase by 25,000 and pull that out of our professional services fund, since we don't need that now.
Right.
How much does it cost? I know there's not one set figure for a big name author.
do you happen to get any?
I just
how
checked
big.
my email.
Yeah.
It very much depends on how big, but there is a company that works with publishing companies that plans the like book tours of touring authors regionally and nationally. We've reached out to them, and they have authors ranging from $1,000 to $100,000. Magic Johnson will come for $100,000. So we've asked for a list of more sort of modestly priced authors, and she just emailed back with some clarifying questions that I need to respond to. So in the thousands of dollars.
Okay. Per branch or to go to every single branch?
I think all that's negotiable in the
Okay.
fee. I think typically a library would pay for some travel fees, and if they stay overnight, lodging, plus whatever their sort of asked for stipend is. But
Okay.
yeah, generally it's we're talking thousands of dollars.
And we don't have to put all 25. Dennis, would you feel more comfortable if?
If that's where everybody wants to move it, that's fine. I'm just wondering. It's always nice to have an extra $25,000 in reserve, depending on what might come down the pike.
I think
And if it's already allocated there, I mean, it obviously can be moved as a line item, but, so. I don't care.
I think we have quite a bit of cushion otherwise, though, too.
We do.
We don't have Lori here to answer that, but I don't think 25,000 is gonna matter.
We're, in our fourth month, and we've spent 13% of the
I
legal,
thought it was 23. Oh, legal. Legal,
in the
okay.
professional services.
Professional, okay.
Yeah. Um,
And you don't have to spend it all, obviously.
Right,
Yeah.
but I did have a conversation, if I ask the board to do this, they'll probably expect for us to spend it, and I wanna spend it in a way that the patrons will feel
Mhm.
that we added more money to that line.
Significantly.
Yes.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's the discussions that we as staff have had about it, but,
This money would be used in addition to all of the normal
Yes.
things that we would normally and have done and have planned. This would be finding something special to do on top of our normal programs.
Maybe a magic show and not Johnson.
Sure, yeah.
By Mr. Johnson, right?
and if you have other suggestions of programming, I mean,
And an author could do at least 2 branches in one day.
Yes, and we've
And
booked
if you-
some local authors that are already doing one early afternoon, one evening, or one morning, one afternoon. So I would think that any author that would be part of the negotiation.
There's a cadre of authors now starting to live around Bentonville and in that area. Roland Smith now lives in Bentonville.
Really?
So he drives up this way quite a bit. So, and I know he's been here to our branches a long time ago. He was
Know
good
that.
friends with the Archie branch manager.
Really?
So,
Before Brad, I guess years ago we're talking? I'm just curious now.
10 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah. And so anyway. All right.
I move that we reallocate 25,000 from our professional services fund and add it to the activities fund in the 2026 budget.
Second.
Thank you. If no further discussion, I'll take a roll call. Dennis Minich,
Aye.
Sherry Peters,
Yes.
Diana Larson,
Yes.
and Diane Hahn,
Yes.
and Becky Klein, yes. All right, we'll move on to the Assistant Director's report. Updates? Oh, the policies. I had it right there, yes. Okay, the policies. I'm trying to move us along. Okay.
It's a good try.
Teal will now talk to us about the policies that we all read. And we'll start off with the Code of Conduct.
Really, mostly I just cleaned up the language. Overall code of conduct did not change. There were words in there that didn't belong, didn't need to be in there, so I cleaned up the language of it. Broke out a little bit when we got down to the examples, broke out the examples a little bit clearer so that the branches would have a little bit clearer direction on the code of conduct. And then took out the last section on the children's behavior. That was, we were really treating children a whole lot different than we were treating anybody else. So I took that out and we're just going with the unattended children policy. So we refer to that. So we have steps on everything. It's just a cleaner version of what we've had before.
I like the gradual enforcement. And,
Yeah.
kind of like you're supposed to parent or whatever. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
The only thing I had on this was, first paragraph, when it goes, right down here, guys, right here on the very beginning, to support the environment, or this environment, all individuals are expected to use library spaces, services, and resources in a manner that respects others and does not interfere with library operations. I didn't know if that would be a good spot to put, therefore all personal items of staff must be out of sight from public view. So they could have personal items, but just not for public view, because we don't want to appear to be either supporting or opposing any particular, And so there was a library, a county someplace in Missouri a month or two ago where they made this policy where you couldn't have anything personal for the public to see, but you could have it if it was not for public view. So I didn't know if that would be a good place to put something like that, and you could word it how you wanted.
The only thing I'd say, this is for patrons and not for staff.
Okay, but it says patrons and staff right here.
Oh, okay.
That's why I was thinking that might be. So if it's just for patrons, then that wouldn't apply.
Well,
I see what you're
that's more,
saying.
what you're asking more is more of a personnel piece of it.
Well, so this was like code of conduct, but it had patrons and
yes.
staff there. That's why I was thinking that.
I think I took that wording, patrons and staff, to mean for the benefit of patrons and staff. patron behavior will be as follows.
Right, the atmosphere, I don't know
Yeah.
if that's the right word for it either.
Well, maybe on a personnel,
We talked about, what policy was it a couple months ago? We had a big discussion several months ago about personal items.
Well, one of them is, I know not to have drinks and those types of things visible to the patrons. There's nothing that truly addresses, like if an employee has an item, well, at the back, there is something that is in there that talks about having, I remember the day you're talking about now, about a personal item that we can't put out a picture of my father as a personal item in a public area. That's my own private thing. That should be in the back where my private business is. That being the difference. If it's a personal item that is truly belongs to me, it shouldn't be out there for the public. It should be on my desk or in my backspace.
so whatever's out there then is what the library would be supporting.
It's, well, I don't know if the supporting would be the right word, but it would be more for the enjoyment of the public, enjoyment of the patrons. It shouldn't be
Political, religious.
political, religious. We can't put a cross out there. I mean, there's things like that we would not put out there. Okay, and that does go back to one of our other policies. Yes,
It was
it
2 or
does.
3 months ago, I think
Yes.
probably was the political,
Yes.
religious policy.
We just need to be careful that something's not out there, you know, that offends. That's why it's just like, if it's not
Right.
related to, information, education, or enrichment services, just to not have it out there.
And that's, we're working towards a lot of that, you know. In a lot of even our procedures that we do, because those are different than a policy. So we're addressing some of that in some of our procedures also, as we go forward.
Okay,
That was all I had.
all right, lost and found, anything?
I had a quick question on the lost and found.
Yeah.
We're changing it from 90 days to 30 days. What about patrons that come to the library once a month? By the time they come back again, their item is already been donated or ditched.
If, the problem is, in some cases, we've gotten tons of stuff that's 90 days old. Okay? If we can clean it up within that 30-day period, we call the patron if we can. We call them to tell them we have their item, we have identification. Or if they call us, we won't ditch it at 30 days if we know that they're gonna come back in and get it. But if we hear from nobody, we have got to clean this stuff out because it gets to be literally tubs of merchandise in some of the branches. You wouldn't think. I mean, we've had coats, gloves, hats, cell phones. You think people would come back and get their cell phones? They don't. We've had some branches that have had cell phones for a while now. So there are things that patrons won't come back and get. We really don't have a storage place to.
Well, I was just thinking that, you
Yeah.
cut it 2/3. I was
I
just
did.
thinking, maybe cut it in half, 60 days. That way, if they came back the next month, it would be there, you know.
I will note our lending period is 3 weeks in general. So if there are regulars that are coming back on that cycle, they probably will be back within the 30 days because the lending is 21 days. But
And we'll make every effort to get a hold of them. If we have information to get a hold of them, sometimes we don't. Because it's just stuff.
I think 30 days. I think 30 days should be enough. I mean, when you're having to store all this.
It's important to you, you'll come back for it.
Good point.
Okay. Posting, community posting.
You
This
know,
one, I can
teenagers.
see I kind of scrapped it.
I don't know what
It's
happened.
got it over on
I have
it.
no idea.
I'm sorry? Okay,
But this is our bulletin boards.
and does every library have a bulletin board?
Every library has a bulletin board.
Okay,
I can remember. Yes,
and when a person brings something in to be posted, they have to have it approved,
yes,
and it's dated and,
yes.
okay.
And there's, it'll go up, and depending upon, if you have one organization that brings in 5 items, and we don't have the room, then we may not be able to put those 5 items up. They have 5 different events going on. But otherwise, we'll make room for whatever the community has that, you know, they may want to promote for their organization out there.
Multiple copies are not allowed,
Yeah, that's, yeah.
just a posting.
Same thing, it's just posting, it's clean. I've taken out, you know, our old policy says may not promote the use of alcohol, illegal drugs, all that. That goes into the law. So I just cleaned all that up, covered it with the law, and went from there.
Okay. And public records and retention, we're cutting out pages 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, we are, because all it is the explanation of what that is.
Which is law,
Which is
or
the law,
which changes
It does
regularly.
change regularly. Matter of fact, I just got the new one and they're adding 3 items to it, so it does change. So it should not have been in here as part of the policy because the link, our link to it takes us directly to the website for those record retentions for the state of Missouri.
Okay. All right. Any further questions of Pat? Then I will make a motion that we approve policy revisions 102, 111, 113, and 114. Did I hear a second down there?
Yep.
Thank you, Dennis. All right, take a roll call. Becky Klein, yes. Diana Larson.
Yes.
Diane Hahn.
Yes.
Sherry Peters.
Yes.
Dennis Minich.
Yes.
Okay. Now we'll go to the director's update. We'll start with Assistant Director Lee.
We hired 3 new people this month, 2 part-time folks here at Harrisonville and 1 at Archie. At Archie, we'd had a part-time person that moved into the children's specialist role there, so they sort of backfilled that. We've got 2 positions open now, the facilities specialist, so someone to help out Ian, and a courier position that we will have open soon. And I think we're working towards, I don't know that we've got interviews scheduled yet, but in the next couple of weeks, we'll be doing that. We are going to have our family fun day again this year. We've booked the shelter next to the pool at City Park in Harrisonville. And we'll have staff and family members and board members and family members can come and on Sunday, May 31st, and have a lunch, and then people can go. We'll get them passes to the pool if they want to go there, or we'll just do outdoor games and stuff there. So hopefully that is fun and we have lots of people in attendance. What we kind of touched on, I've been learning a lot more about how much authors cost because we have been adding some adult programming again, sort of on a system level, trying to find local authors, regional authors, or people that can come and focus on the 250th anniversary of the country. So we've gotten a couple local authors and a member of the Omar Bradley Library and Museum in Moberly to come and do some programs. So those are scheduled, and now that we've reallocated some of that money, we'll continue to do some of these larger program projects. at all of our branches over the rest of the year. So that's pretty good. We're through the first quarter, and our personnel budgets, we still have over 77% of our personnel budget remaining, and that's pretty good considering we're pretty close to fully staffed, closer than we've been in a few months. So,
And when we are, you won't say it.
and when
And we
we
don't
are,
say-
no one will say it out
But
I
loud.
don't say that out loud anymore.
Because I did that once last year, and that was the only time we've been fully staffed since I've been here. So, Robert and I went to the PLA conference last week, 2 weeks ago. Okay. It was in Minneapolis, and attended a lot of sessions, but there were a lot that focused on programming for specific patrons, seniors, teens in rural areas. So there was a lot of really applicable sessions, I thought, and I've listed some of those here. So that's what we've been up to.
When is Larry Wood coming?
Oh,
Jeff?
I can find it,
Okay.
and I can let you know
Okay.
afterwards. But yeah, he's official, so I'll get those dates for you and let you know which branches and when.
Good.
Robin, Director.
Okay, so the first update, we've gotten formal notice from Family Search that our digital imaging agreement will be ending effective 90 days from April 1st, which is expected because we have completed that project. All of our eligible genealogy materials have now been digitized, and coincidentally, that fulfills our strategic plan KPI regarding expanding access to local history resources. So since we started that partnership, which is several years ago, the usage of the items that have been scanned has grown from like less than 10 a month to anywhere from 1,000 to 1,500 page views monthly. So there was quite a bit that ended up being eligible to be included, and it's being utilized. So that's good. Missouri Evergreen Consortium has just added 2 additional libraries. That's Bonne Terre and Sedalia. They just went live this month. And so right now, the consortium has about 1.29 million records, over 5 million actual items that can circulate, and combined 690,000 patrons. So it's becoming, I believe, I can't tell you the exact number, but I know more than half of Missouri libraries are currently Evergreen members, and the membership continues to grow, which is awesome because that really strengthens our ability to provide materials throughout the whole state. So, and then just this week, we put together a cross-departmental team to start focusing on ADA digital compliance. So there's the new rules about your digital presence, and it must, be accessible in multiple different ways for various users. And so we have until April of next year to comply, just because we're a special district. But a lot of like private organizations, their compliance date is this year. So we've got a little bit of extra time, but it involves us, looking at our online presence through our website, any postings that we do on social media, any flyers and things that we put out to promote digitally. They need to meet the rule guidelines, and so we need to review what we have.
Who is the agency that reviews these?
These are just federal. It's a federal
It is federal.
rule.
Okay.
So what we're finding, what is happening is that private entities are filing lawsuits to challenge the organizations that aren't meeting this rule. So we are documenting all the efforts that we're making to ensure that we are as compliant as we can be. And we've got plenty of time to do so. I think we've got a really good plan going. And we've already been able to, because we even have to verify any of the vendors that we have contracts with that have a digital presence. on our space. For example, like LibCal, our events system, they must be compliant too. We are responsible for them being compliant through having a contract with them. So one of the things we're doing is reaching out to all of the services that we have contracts with to verify that they are compliant. And there's certain certificates that they have to provide to show that they are. So that's just one aspect of it. So but yes, we've started working on that in earnest, and we'll be planning to have quarterly check-in meetings to see how our progress is going, see if there's anything new that popped up that we maybe hadn't considered before that we need to give attention to. So.
Okay.
Oh, and the story walk, because of all this rain, it was supposed to be started tomorrow and done by the end of the week, but it pushed to next week. So it still looks like it's like a 2-day project. So the pathway. Then we still need to get the signage and get it installed.
And Larry Wood will be here on September 17th at Archie and Harrisonville.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Is there a CCIC report?
I don't know all reported other than I'm repeating myself. I apologize, but all 5 board members have signed the resolution to dissolve the CCIC, and if she hasn't already sent them, she will be sending them to the Attorney General and Secretary of State's office. And if they're approved, then there will be basically a meeting to kind of wrap things up. But I was the last one to sign, so I know that all 5 signatures were on there, so.
Thank you. The foundation, excuse me, met Monday night, and Robin and I on April 6th accepted the $50,000 gift from the Gobbert Foundation for the Story Walk. It was made out to the foundation, so it is being deposited in the foundation's account, and then they are turning around and reimbursing the library so they can pay for the laying of the story walk and the signage and everything like that. And Robin said probably sometime in May, they'll be ready to have a grand opening of the story walk, and she'll let us know when that is. And the foundation wants to be there too. But the foundation is also going to hold their July meeting at Pleasant Hill, just so we can see all the members can see what it's like. And that's, the foundation supported the Jana and the teen and young readers for summer reading program, and she has already bought all the award books and t-shirts for the library workers to celebrate summer reading. Any trustee comments? Then I will make a motion, or I will accept a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Dennis, and a second?
Put that one, didn't you?
I heard that one, yes. All right, a second, did I hear?
Me.
Thank you. All right. We'll do a roll call. Dennis Minich,
Yes.
Sherry Peters.
Yes.
Diane Hahn.
Yes.
Diana Larson.
Yes.
Becky Klein, yes. Thank you for attending. It's
Who's
not
Larry
even
Hood?
an